Hey everyone, I'm Ryan, you're watching 60 Cycle Hum, and in this video I'm going to begin my modding journey with this Harley Benton MS-60 here. A lot of people like to mod these closer to like traditional Mustang specs with new pick guards and Mustang appropriate control plates here, maybe different pickups, maybe like a roller bridge, things like that. I'm going to go on my own journey, kind of forge my own path here. I'm going to start by trying to install one of these more traditional Mustang style bridges. I know it's not fully traditional. I went for the kind that's got height adjustment on each saddle. This is actually a really cheap piece of bridge here. I think it was like 10 or 12 bucks on Amazon, something like that. But anyways, I went for the individual height adjusting saddles just because this has a different fret radius than a traditional Mustang does, and I didn't want to have to deal with those sorts of issues. So, all right, I'm going to put this on the desk here. We'll get started on it, and I'll talk about some of the other mods I have in mind for this guitar. This is going to be a multi-stage video here. You know, I've got to loosen the strings first. I'd like to cut a totally new pickguard for this thing to house totally new pickups. I don't know what I'm going to do as far as controls go. I like things pretty standard. I'm big into, you know, single knob, volume and tone sorts of situations. Really, this is kind of it's a blank slate. I want to make it more playable. I want to make it more my style. I want to take you guys along for the ride. I'm going to start by getting the trim out of the way here. All right, we can start pulling the bridge out of here now. Seems to be stuck on there. One side is loose, but the other side isn't. Oh, there we go. Bridge is off. I'm really hoping these thimbles just fit right in there and don't give me too much trouble. So the secret to getting the old thimbles out is you take a screw like this and you drop it down in there. And that gives something for the post to push against. And you just screw the post in and it pulls the thimble right out for you. That's the way I like to do it anyways. I'm sure Stu Mac has some sort of official tool that does it for people. Oh, it looks like the screw's not long enough. Yep, there we go. A little pull from the pliers. First one's out. Oh, before we go any farther, let's see if the Mustang thimble fits. Oh man, it drops right in there. Nice. I'm excited about that. That means I get to drop this bridge in today. I was a little afraid the holes would be too small and I wouldn't actually be doing this project today, which would have felt like a bit of a waste of time. Oh, this one came right out. Drop that other thimble in there. How's this thing grounded? Where's the ground wire? Oh, there it is. It's right inside there. On my Jazzmaster, the ground wire comes out through the tremolo plate. All right. It dropped right in there. It couldn't have been more easy. Now, something about these offset style bridges that people don't realize is, well, some people know, but not everyone knows, so I'll tell the people who don't know, is that these are made to rock back and forth in their thimbles. They're not meant to be completely rock solid in there, which is partly a blessing and partly a curse for offset style bridges. In theory, it means that the whole bridge will rock back and forth when you're using your tremolo, your vibrato, and that means that the string won't actually be sliding across the saddle, meaning that it won't get bound up on there, and then in theory it'll return to its center position and you won't have any tuning issues when you use that vibrato stick, when you use that wiggle stick. In reality, people tend to rest their hands on bridges and end up pushing it out of place, and the whole guitar goes out of tune, and there's other issues. And it's an interesting beast. It's an interesting design, and it'll be fun to see how it reacts to being in this guitar. I'm going to start out by raising the action a little bit here, just because I know it's going to need it. All right, let's put it back together. See if this worked out. I know I'm going to have to do a bunch of intonation and action adjusting stuff. But that's what I signed on for, isn't it? It's my own fault. Coming up with a project. I don't like to use power tools putting screws in to guitars because I tend to make mistakes much quicker that way. I feel fine using them to take the screws out because you're less likely to strip out your holes and stuff like that way. But putting them in, I like to use a real screwdriver. Now I'm going to use the previous bridge as a bit of a cheat sheet for intonation. Just kind of visually adjust it, and then once I get it all plugged in and tuned up, I'll do some fine tuning of the bridge saddles. It's probably too exaggerated for what actually needs to be dialed in, but it's a good starting point. Now I'm gonna tune this up and just make a bunch of adjustments and see if I can get it as playable as possible, and then I'll check back in. Fingers crossed. So I ran into an interesting problem. The screws that come out the bottom of the bridge here are digging into the soft wood and actually screwing into the wood, so I wasn't able to raise up the low end side of the bridge because it was just digging into the wood. I'm gonna try something really sketchy here. I'm gonna try dropping these screws down in there to give a metallic surface for the those posts to rest on. Wish me luck. We'll see if this works at all, or if I end up drilling a hole through the other side of the guitar. This is the sort of thing that probably makes people who actually know how to do guitar work cringe pretty hard when they watch this channel. I don't like how loose the actual thimbles are, so I'm going to wrap them in a little bit of foil tape to make sure they stay still. There we go. All it took is a little tab of foil pressed against one side of the thimble to get it to fit in there really nice and snug. I've got the actual thimble pressed against the ground wire, not the tape pressed against the ground wire. I'm pretty happy with that quick little mod there. All right, drop the bridge in. Let's try this again. It's a little bit more snug now because the thimbles are displaced. All right, only foil on only one thimble. That's fine. It didn't like having foil on both thimbles. It didn't want to fit back in there. All right, I've got it in now. should be able to adjust that a lot easier. Now that I've put two screws into the thimble cavities there. I managed to not drill them through the other side. They only needed to go in a little bit to be firm. It feels like the bridge is rocking on them just fine. All right, I did it. I've got the bridge in there. I've got it all tuned up. I've got it intonated well enough. I mean, each string is a couple cents sharp at the 12th fret. Not the hugest deal in the world. I could definitely spend some time getting it dialed in a little bit better. But I wanted to show off kind of why I wanted to experiment with this bridge in this guitar as far as chasing some tuning stability with tremolo use. Maybe you can see it here. When I push in the bar, you can see that the whole bridge, see if we can get that whole thing in focus there. The whole bridge rocks back and forth. Might be hard to tell because I'm not holding the guitar very still. But holding it right here, I can really see the whole thing kind of shifting and rocking. That gives you, in theory, tuning stability with tremolo use. I'm going to tune up again real quick, and then I'll play something while abusing that tremolo bar. Here we go. It's a little bit out of tune now. That high E. It really isn't bad. I'm really abusing this bar. Yeah, it fell out of tune a little bit, but nothing compared to how it was with the previous bridge that just would ping and ting out of tune with a couple bends of the tremolo. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. I gotta bend down to get in frame here. I'm pretty happy with the immediate results. There's a lot more dialing in I need to do with this bridge as far as the intonation goes. I can do some things to, you know, lubricate the nut and whatnot to get even more tuning stability out of this guitar. I want to make a lot more mods to this thing for fun. I want to throw new pickups in here. I might even completely change this tremolo system and drop like a Bigsby in here or something like that. That's a fun idea I've been having. So stay tuned. I've got a lot of plans for this guitar. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude and nasty comments, support us on Patreon, and stay grounded. Bye, everybody.